Okay, hi, this is Ivanka, and this is the recorded user testing for my weather app. So, as you can see, the user will need to enter their first and last name together with a passport in order to access the content on the app. If we press next, you will be warmly welcomed, which will then immediately take you to the main page. So first thing first, we have our language switcher next to the search bar. In case you don't speak full English, you can choose the language of your choice to make your experience on the app even easier. At the bottom, we have a list of buttons that indicate the different pages that is included on the app. And at the bottom of that, we have our two weather alerts that will always pop up to indicate when a natural or man-made disaster is taking place, no matter if it's near you or further, right? We have our tornado warning, which is represented by flashing lights, but because of the limited features of this tool, I can only show I can only represent it in the form of two colors. And at the bottom of that, we have our severe thunderstorm warning, which is represented, or its notification will be vibration, which I've put the two red vibrating looking stuff at the side so that you will know. On our daily feed slash main page as well, we mostly display um a brief description of our purpose for this app and what we wanted to accomplish. We have the latest news like volunteering work. Alright, we have like programs that have collaborated with universities or primary schools to help educate children on the effects of natural disasters in many areas, right? Public work and all of those fun stuff. So, with our rows of buttons located at the top here, even though you have your different alerts displayed here, you can also press our alert button here that also indicates notification. So once you click that, you will have the list of different disasters, and every time one of them is taking place, you will have a notification. So I also made it to where it educates you more about what a tornado warning is, what a tornado is, right? How to prepare for a tornado before, during, and after. What are some extra things that you can put in place before these disasters happen to ensure that you and your family are safe? Um, the different types of alerts to expect for each disaster, right? When they are used, right? And how people with hearing impairment use it. So take in mind that we were given this project to create with our target audience being school children and people with impaired hearing. So I really wanted to make sure that it it was suitable and connected a lot with school kids so that it would be intriguing enough for them to experience and to use the app, right? And so that just generally it won't be boring, right? So hence my different background for each one will you will see soon, right? So to go back, you just press this button here, and this goes for each and every single page, right? See the different backgrounds I'm talking about. So it will be less boring for the kids, and that they will actually they'll be intrigued enough to educate themselves and use the app so that they can be more aware about these things, which is again important to everyone, right? So that's that. We go back. Maybe just press home, right? So now let's go on to our emergency contact. So our emergency contact, right? It gives you a list of several different emergency responses here, right? See a lot of contacts which you are free to choose from, right? And then at the bottom, again, because of the limited features that this tool I'm using provides, I am not able to properly showcase, for example, allow the users to maximize this map that I've put here so that they can clearly see the locations in which these natural disasters are taking place. So I hope that doesn't make a big problem, but yes. When you press home, you always go back to the main page. Right? Again, shelter location, take you exactly to the page that provides you with that, just so it will be easier. Safety tips, your safety tips, you scroll down, you look for right. So game finds, let's move on to game find. So once you get the game finds, I was going to put a few games like word search, tic-tac-toe, probably a weather related game, but taking in consideration how much time that will take, I just decided to go with a storybook. So because of time as well, I did utilize a little bit of AI generation to put my ideas together. So what I wanted is that I wanted a storybook that related to the natural disasters and its negative impact on our country. So that's what you see here. So this is the storybook cover. How the user is able to use this, you press the read button here. You are given a table of context with each of the chapters together with the title of the story, right? And then you read. You read. Right here, I put a volume button. Well, basically, a speaker button in case you want to, if you want it to be like audio, so you can listen instead of reading. So, in case you are walking or you are doing work, you can always plug in your headphones, press this, and it will read the story for you. Right? You go to the next page, you will go to the next story, right? And that goes on for 3 more times because there are 6 um stories, right? And to go home, you press this button, keep pressing it, and yeah, right? So hold on, let me go. And lastly, we have what was recommended by one of the users themselves was a live weather section. So this section basically takes you to like the weather broadcast. Really, it shows you the corresponding degrees for that day, like the temperature, the weather temperature for that day, the date, right? You have your conditions for each of the days at the bottom here. So we are currently on Sunday. It will be 34 degrees. It's sunny and cloudy, right? If we press Monday, it's 30 degrees, very cloudy, right? A little more chiller. And then on Tuesday, you will see that it will be 24 degrees and you have severe thunderstorms, right? I also made it where you can actually use a calendar in case like you want to make sure, like, basically to check the dates and make sure that this is happening on that day so you don't get confused, right? And once you get your notification, you can always on like on the type of disasters that are happening on that day, you can always come back to the calendar and check which dates those are occurring on to ensure that you are prepared and keep yourself safe, right? So this goes for each one. As you can see, they are represented by their own colors as well, so you won't get confused, right? And yeah, that is basically it for my entire app. I hope that I explained it good enough. Again, I wanted to make sure my theme, right, and my color palette for this was good enough for the school children because I know they will be using this the most. And I didn't want it to look too immature and childish, and I really hope I did not do that. I just wanted to be a little more interesting, right? So yeah, that is it for my user testing. Um, I hope it was good enough, and thank you.